Let me tell you something. We've all got them in our lives. Those folks who just suck the energy right out of the room. You know the type. Manipulators, guilt trippers, drama queens, the whole 9 yards. But listen up, because I'm about to give you the tools to take back your power. We're gonna dive deep into 10 psychological tricks that will help you handle these toxic people like a boss. These are about setting boundaries, protecting yourself, and maintaining your peace of mind. So let's get real, get honest, and start taking control. The first step to handling toxic people is to understand their game. They thrive on control, on pushing your buttons and watching you react. Don't give them the satisfaction. Instead of letting them get under your skin, take a deep breath and stay calm, cool, and collected. When you react with anger, frustration, or sadness, you're playing right into their hands. They feed off that energy. It validates their behavior. Instead of giving them what they want, hit them with a dose of indifference. When they try to provoke you, respond with a neutral statement like, "I see what you're doing and it's not going to work." This sends a clear message. You're on to their game and you're not playing. Remember, you are in control of your own emotions. Hold your ground, stay strong, and don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you sweat. The more you practice staying calm and composed, the easier it will become. You've got this. Sometimes, the best way to disarm a toxic person is to use a little humor or sarcasm. Now, I'm not talking about being mean-spirited or stooping to their level. I'm talking about injecting a little levity into the situation, taking the wind out of their sails. Think of it as a verbal judo move. When they try to land a blow with a cutting remark, you gracefully deflect it with a witty comeback. For example, if they make a snide comment about your appearance, you could say something like, "Wow, you must have spent hours coming up with that zinger. You're on fire today." The key here is to stay lighthearted and avoid getting drawn into an argument. Humor and sarcasm can be powerful tools when used effectively. They can help you maintain a sense of control in a situation where you might otherwise feel powerless. Now, this one might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. Sometimes the best way to handle a toxic person is to give them a taste of their own medicine. I call it strategic empathy. When a toxic person is busy complaining or being negative instead of arguing, you play right along. You exaggerate your understanding of their perspective to the point where they start to feel uncomfortable. For example, with a narcissist who's always complaining, you could say, "You're absolutely right. It's unbelievable how the entire world seems to be conspiring against you." By agreeing and amplifying their negativity, you're holding up a mirror to their behavior. This can often make them back down or shift focus away from you. Strategic empathy can be a surprisingly effective way to handle toxic people. One of the most important skills you can develop is the ability to set firm boundaries. And that starts with saying no without feeling obligated to explain yourself. Toxic people are often master manipulators. They know how to push your buttons and guilt you into doing what they want. Remember, you have the right to say no to any request that makes you feel uncomfortable. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you're not willing to do something. Remind yourself that no is a complete sentence. Toxic people thrive on drama, and they often twist the truth to fit their narrative. They might spread rumors, make false accusations, or try to gaslight you into doubting your own sanity. Don't let them get away with it. When you're dealing with a toxic person who's trying to manipulate the facts, it's crucial to stand your ground and present the truth in a calm and factual manner. This isn't about engaging in a heated argument or trying to prove them wrong. It's about simply stating the facts without getting emotional or defensive. For example, let's say a toxic coworker tries to throw you under the bus by telling your boss that you missed a deadline. Instead of getting angry or defensive, calmly say something like, "Actually, I submitted the project on Tuesday. Here's the email confirmation." By presenting concrete evidence, you're taking away their power to distort the truth. Remember, facts don't lie. Let's face it, toxic people are often masters at taking advantage of others. They might constantly ask for favors, borrow money they never repay, or expect you to always be there for them, even when they don't reciprocate. It's time to stop enabling their behavior. One of the most effective ways to set boundaries with a toxic person is to withdraw the benefits they've come to expect. This means no longer going above and beyond for them, lending them money, or dropping everything to cater to their needs. This might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're a naturally giving person. But remember, you're not responsible for their happiness, and you have a right to protect your own well-being. By withdrawing the benefits they've come to rely on, you're sending a clear message. Their actions have consequences. They can't continue to treat you poorly and expect to reap the rewards of your kindness and generosity. It simply means reevaluating the dynamic of the relationship and setting healthy boundaries that protect your time, energy, and resources. Now, this tactic should be used sparingly and with caution. But in some cases, calling out a toxic person's behavior in front of others can be an effective way to put a stop to it. This is particularly useful in situations where the toxic person is being inappropriate or disrespectful, such as making offensive jokes, interrupting constantly, or putting others down. By calmly and assertively addressing their behavior in a public setting, you're holding them accountable for their actions and sending a message that their behavior is not acceptable. The key here is to stay calm and collected. Don't stoop to their level by getting angry or engaging in a shouting match. Simply state the facts and let them know that their behavior is not welcome. This might feel uncomfortable at first, but remember, you have a right to speak up against injustice and to protect yourself and others from harmful behavior. Let them fail. This one can be tough, especially if you're a naturally helpful person. But sometimes, the best way to help a toxic person is to let them experience the natural consequences of their actions. Toxic people are often experts at avoiding responsibility. They might blame others for their problems, make excuses for their behavior, or manipulate you into rescuing them from their self-created messes. And as long as you keep bailing them out, they'll never have a reason to change. They'll continue to repeat the same destructive patterns, knowing that you'll always be there to pick up the pieces. Now, I'm not saying you should take pleasure in their misfortune or wish ill upon them, but I am suggesting that you step back and allow them to experience the consequences of their choices. Walk away without engagement. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do when faced with a toxic person is to simply walk away. This might mean physically removing yourself from the situation, such as ending a conversation or leaving a gathering. Or it might mean disengaging emotionally, refusing to get sucked into their drama or arguments. Toxic people thrive on conflict and attention. They want to see you react, get upset, and engage in their games. By walking away, you're depriving them of the satisfaction of seeing you ruffled. You're sending a clear message that you're not going to play their game. You have the right to set boundaries and to remove yourself from any situation that is causing you stress or discomfort. And sometimes the most empowering choice you can make is to simply walk away. Stay unavailable. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easier than ever for toxic people to invade your space and drain your energy. They might bombard you with texts, calls, emails, or social media messages, demanding your attention and trying to draw you into their drama. One of the most effective ways to protect your peace is to limit their access to you. This doesn't mean you have to ghost them completely, although in some cases that might be necessary. It simply means setting boundaries around how and when you interact with them. Start by not responding immediately to their calls or messages. Give yourself time to process your emotions and decide if you even want to engage. Remember, you don't owe anyone an immediate response, and you have the right to take your time. You might also want to limit the amount of information you share with them. Toxic people often use personal information against you, so be mindful of what you reveal. And finally, don't be afraid to say no to their invitations or requests to hang out. Outrow protect your peace. So there you have it, folks. 10 psychological tricks to handle toxic people and protect your peace. Remember, you deserve to be treated with respect, and you have the right to walk away from any relationship that's dragging you down. It's time to take back your power and start living a life free from drama and negativity. You are strong, you are capable, and you deserve to be surrounded by people who lift you up, not tear you down. Now go out there and create a life that's authentically yours, a life filled with joy, peace, and genuine connections.